affected by happiness and distress. I'm happy in a position of equanimity, seeing everything as the mercy of Krishna. So that's what it means to be a Brahmin. Your first quality of a Brahmin is you're equal to happiness and distress, fame and infamy, sickness and health, poverty and wealth. You're completely equal to everything. You see everything, and how do you become equal? You see everything as the mercy of Krishna to help you come closer and closer and closer to Him. So anyway, it's not the same. On other planets it's different, but this is the best place. The earth is the best place to be. You're in the very best place. You're much better situated than being Indradev, the king of heaven, right? And just being a person here in Copenhagen. You're better than Indradev, the king of heaven. So take advantage of your position. Become self-realized, okay? Yeah.
It was just that the women, they got this so-called benediction to be lusty even in their menstrual period. So I was just wondering...
They have a benediction for what?
They got the benediction to remain lusty.
They can keep enjoying sex on and on and on and on. Even when they're pregnant, they can enjoy sex. Yeah, that's the
So my question is that Indra, he is after all a devotee also, and there are so many elevated women in the universe. So how could Indra listen to such stupid women and not listen to the Vaishnavis?
Do you understand the question, Devi?
Yes, he's saying how could Indra communicate with the lusty woman and not the elevated Vaishnavis?
Communicate?
Yeah, like he offered this curse to some lusty woman who was there. But then she's saying there are some so many elevated Vaishnavas. Vaishnavis are
Why they have to suffer the curse? Why elevated Vaishnava women have to suffer the curse?
No.
That's the point?
Why didn't he communicated about his lust to the women, those who are elevated?
Why did he transfer his...
How he did that?
Like when Indra asked some woman about the curse, then she accepted it. Correct? You understand?
I don't know the details of the Leela. You tell me.
Well, this is what it is mentioned, that the woman accepted that.
And some woman accepted on behalf of womankind? Is that what it is?
Yes. So why didn't he ask some elevated Mataji so that she...
Why he picked a woman who would accept it?
Yes.
Well, you have to ask Indra why he did it. I don't know, you can ask Indra. You would know. Indra, why didn't you ask a Vaishnava woman who said, I don't want this lust? Then when we wouldn't have to suffer the menstrual period, why when I mentioned lust, you asked the wrong woman Indra today. If you'd asked me, I would have said, who needs lust? Frame me for this menstrual hassle, and I don't need that lust benediction. Let me be Krishna conscious, you see. Maybe Indra should have asked you instead. You could have spoken on behalf of womankind. Then all the women would be better. Too bad he didn't ask you. And the women would be better off, because you have no interest in lust. You're a Vaishnavi, you see. Yeah.
I mean, we sing every day, Yani Kani Chapa Pani Brahma Kani Cha. That goes by circumambulating Tulsi, one can counteract any sinful activity, including killing of
You know the Tulsi prayer?
Yeah.
And
so why did Indra do this whole complicated thing? Why didn't they just circumambulate Tulsi and that would be it?
why didn't they just circumambulate Tulsi?
Why didn't Indra?
Why Indra didn't circumambulate Tulsi?
Yeah.
Why?
Instead of all this whole complicated arrangement.
Indra should have been a discount devotee, can I say? He should have read Prabhupada's books. Of course, they weren't written yet. But yeah, it's interesting questions. But there's so many interesting questions. And I had so many, when I was a young bhakta, and I still have many questions, but I had a lot of questions, and I always wasn't sure the answers, so I was writing Prabhupada and asking him. And Prabhupada gave me a little tip. Because you can see I was a very inquisitive boy, He gave me a tip. He said if you will simply serve Krishna with full sincerity of attitude 24 hours a day, then Krishna will personally come and answer all your questions. So, for those of us who have very inquisitive minds, who want to know about this, and Prabhupada's answer is, you just become a Pure devotee, and all you have to do is be completely sincere, engage yourself with full sincerity of attitude 24 hours a day in Krishna service, and Krishna will personally come and you can ask him whatever you want, you get the perfect answer for everything. Yeah, I was pretty curious when I was young, especially in the old days. Gosh, what about this? And why is it the banyan, how to worship the banyan tree? I want to know the answer to that. Because Prabhupada mentioned worshiping the sacred tree like the Tulsi and the banyan. He told us how to worship Tulsi, but how to worship the banyan tree? I had questions like that when I was a young girl. You know.
To Lalita Krishna Prabhu's question, I would say that when Indra got that curse, instead of going to some devotee to find out how he can get rid, he went to the other things. If he had gone to some devotee to inquire, then the devotee will give him proper solution how to get rid.
Yeah. So then why did Krishna allow this to happen? It's all going on under his supervision ultimately. Of course, Krishna gives the free will to the living entities, so they can, if they can't learn by hearing, they can learn by the school of hard knocks. So whatever difficulties we're going through here, actually the mercy of Krishna also is to help us come out of the stupor, to come out of the hallucination, to come out of this dream state that you can actually enjoy the material world. These things are all a blessing. There's actually no such thing as a curse for one who is Krishna conscious. Indra's curses are actually blessings for a transcendental sees everything as a curse. Just like Parikshit, Maharaj, he took the curse of Shringi as a blessing. Prabhupada said he could have counteracted the curse. But actually he said, no, why counteract? This is a great blessing. I can give up my being administrator and spend 7 days absorbed in getting ready to go back to Godhead. This is a great blessing. I take it as a blessing and I accept it. So for devotee, there's no thing as a curse. Whatever may come to him, a blessing, a curse, it's all a blessing to him. He sees it all how Krishna's merciful hand is acting in every situation to bring me out of my stupor of material consciousness and bring me back to prema bhakti. Anything else? Yes, Prabhu.
You mentioned to give up lust, greed, and anger, and so forth.
Yeah.
We also hear like devotees, they engage their anger in Krishna's service, like we have the example of Hanuman, for example.
Yeah.
And like
that's different. Prabhu.
So when does that come in the picture?
Mm-hmm.
To engage those qualities that you mentioned, to pick out.
Yes.
So how does that come in the
picture? If you engage those qualities in Krishna's service, then those qualities help you to get rid of their material counterpart. You understand? By using your anger in Krishna's service, then you get rid of your material quality of anger. So, anger can definitely be used in Krishna's service, but you don't become used by anger. You use it as a teaching tool. That's the key. If you get overwhelmed by anger, you start spouting off words that are offensive, then obviously you're the tool of anger. You're not using anger as your tool. But these things can be used as tools, but you shouldn't be their tool. You see what I'm saying? Anger can definitely be used in Krishna service. A teacher has to sometimes show anger in order to get the students to take his words seriously. Even that cobra became a Vaishnava, and he told him, you have to show anger, otherwise they will abuse you. Sometimes if they abuse you, you must show them anger. Raise your hoods, but don't bite. You see? So sometimes we have to use these qualities in Krishna's service, but never be used by them. Is that understood?
Yeah.
Understood, yeah. That answers your question?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's of course much to be said, because there's lust
Mhm.
also, there's anger, and then there's lust. So you could make maybe the same. Well, how do you engage lust? It could.
Oh, you get married, that's good.
That's
One
what-
brahmachari asked that. He said, Prabhupada, how to engage lust in the service? Prabhupada said, get married.
I heard one other.
Huh?
Also heard one other solution.
Huh?
I also heard one other solution how to engage lust in Krishna service, like in Krishna.
Well, there's some good other solutions. Prabhupada said, just like what men have a tendency. Men like to enjoy women. It's our, let's face it, that's our nature. A man's nature, he wants to enjoy women. Prabhupada said, by engaging women in Krishna's service, that's how to enjoy women. I remember I have a copy of some lectures that Prabhupada gave from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, 26th Avenue. They never made it in the database. But I have this whole collection of lecture transcripts. And in this lecture, Prabhupada said, collect all the beautiful women and give them to Krishna. People dance, rasa dance with them. So if you're lusty, you want to enjoy women, go out and round up all the women and make them devotees. Satisfied that way, all your lusty desires are enjoy women, bring them here to be servants of Gaurnitai, and all your lusty desires enjoy women be totally satisfied. By engaging the women in Krishna's enjoyment, you see. There, so go out and collect all the beautiful women and bring them out in the women time. But be careful. Fire and butter. Be very careful in preaching. Many devotees have been fallen down because they're not being careful when they deal with the opposite thing. Many devotees have fallen down. Even some of our gurus fell down because of that. Very, very dangerous thing. One has to be very, very careful, like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati did. Never meet with a woman privately. One disciple of his, married girl, she said, Guru Maharaj, I'd like to ask you something. He said, yes, go ahead. Oh no, but I want to meet with you privately. He said, no, but I cannot do it. She was young enough to be his granddaughter, okay? But he said, no, that I cannot meet with you privately. So we have to be very careful at the same time. Anything else? Yeah.
In the old days of the Krishna consciousness movement, it seems to be so explosive and super attractive.
Super
attractive.
It's very. Do you think it's not attractive now?
Well, else I wouldn't be here.
Huh?
Else I wouldn't be here.
Yes.
I think there should be like way more people here. So
yes, but
what is our fault?
Depending on you. Depending on you, and you, depending on me, depending on everyone, we have to, here's the key. You want to make this movement more and more attractive? I'll tell you exactly how to do it. We have to become more attracted to Krishna. Because this movement will only be as attractive to the general population to whatever extent we are attracted to Krishna, especially the two syllables, Krishna. If you want to be a touchstone who can attract other people to Krishna, you have to become attracted to Krishna. You have to fall madly head over heels in love with Krishna. You have to cultivate love for Krishna. Prabhupada, one book distributor, came back from Sankirtan. He had his whole van full of brahmacharis, very fired up. He came back and he came to the temple and he said, Prabhupada, there was a big crowd of devotees, about 300 of us. Prabhupada, he said, Prabhupada, came off the road with his book distribution party. He said, Prabhupada, what pleases you the most? Because Prabhupada always had book distribution. Right? He was all fired up. He just came off the road with his van full of brahmacharis. Prabhupada, what pleases you the most? You know, like that. And Prabhupada said, if you love Krishna. So don't think that there's any substitute for developing love of Krishna. If you're doing something and by doing that you're not developing love for Krishna, shama evi kevalam. You see, you're wasting your time. You have to do everything in such a way that you will develop your love for Krishna. That's the move. You have to connect everything, distributing books, offering an arti, cooking, offering, working a job, supporting your household, to support the temple, whatever you're doing, you must do it in the mood of developing your love for Krishna. That's the one. And if you do, or kicking Dharma in the face, it's the same thing, you see. Do everything in the mood of developing your love for Krishna. And then this movement will become so attractive. If all of us at this kind can get in this mood of doing everything and trying to develop my love for Krishna in every way, and everything that I'm doing, I guarantee you, if ISKCON can get, the whole ISKCON gets in this mood, the whole world will join in 18 days. The 18 days, the whole world will join this movement. If every ISKCON devotee gets totally in this mood, if everything has to be done in a mood of love of Krishna, everything I do, every word, every thought, every word, every deed, in all times, places, and circumstances, in 18 days we can capture the whole, every single government leader will come and want to be trained by us how to run their countries properly. You see? It will happen. The trouble is with lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, and envy. We're still hovering. We're not flushing the toilets. We hang onto that stool, you see. That's the problem. We're attached to the stool. It's my stool. I'm attached to it. You see, we're attached to that lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, and envy. Not their spiritual counterpart, but the material lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, and envy. We're attached to it. That's the difficulty. So anyway, we have more lectures coming up, and I've already gone over time on this one. So I only have a few things that I can say, and I run out of things to talk about, so I don't want to say it all in one lecture. I've got to say some things for a few more lectures so you don't get bored. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai!
Jai!